right. Well, welcome everyone to our session on Chapman's University Honors Program. It's so nice to see you all. My name is Dr. Tara Grumald, and I'm the new director of the Honors Program. Although I'm new to the Honors Program, I'm not new to Chapman. I've been here since 2017. And before taking over the Honors Program a couple months ago, I was chair of the psychology department. And I'm also a faculty member in the psychology department. I teach in both psychology and honors, and I'm a health psychologist and conduct research on how social and psychological factors affect our health and well-being. And my collaborator in overseeing the honors program is our honors program specialist, Ashley Cosgrove, and she's going to tell you about herself.
Hey everyone. Um, I'm really happy to be here. I hope to see you guys next fall. My name's Ashley Cosgrove. I've been at Chapman for over 16 years. I've been in the honors program for 11 and a half. I currently teach an FFC, which is a class that all first years take in their first year. I used to teach in honors, but I take a little hiatus on that. Um, I'm acting as the advisor for honor students. So when it comes time to needing classes, I'm your go-to person. I'm also the person of contact for all prospective students. And I genuinely love talking with you guys. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always available via email. And so, yeah, welcome.
Thanks, Ashley. We also have three honor students with us today, Ashley, Ava, and Madison, and they're going to introduce themselves a little later, and you're going to learn more about them. But our goal really today is to tell you a little bit about the honors program and why we think it's so special. So, what is honors? Well, first and foremost, honors is really a special community of friends and a community of scholars. And one of the ways in which this community comes together is through our honors courses. Um, Now, Chapman in general, if you know anything about the university, if you've been checking us out, you would know that one of Chapman's sort of signature characteristics is our sort of focus on personalized education and the fact that we have small courses. But in honors, the courses are even smaller. So most of our honors courses are small seminar-based courses, typically about 15 students. The seminar courses are discussion based, so it's not about sitting through lecture and taking notes and so much that way, but really bringing together students from all across campus and different majors and different disciplines to really have discussions about ideas that are sort of the topic areas of each class. And the folks who teach these courses are really some of the best faculty from across campus. And in the honors courses, you're taking those courses with other honors students. So you're in sort of a special community in the classroom. In terms of the honors requirements, the honors curriculum, it honors acts as sort of like a minor, and in that way, it fulfills a certain aspects of your general education or GE requirements, and also other specific GE requirements. And the sort of core of the curriculum is 8 courses. All honor students take a first year form course, and that is really where students are introduced to interdisciplinary studies, the value of critical thinking, logic, and the role of civic engagement. And then you will take throughout your years at Chapman 6 additional courses, 3 of which have to be one each in sort of these key categories, the natural, social, and human sciences, and then 3 that can be in any category you want. And then all students also take a senior seminar. And the goal of that senior seminar capstone course is to complete your honors capstone, which is an independent research project on a topic that you're passionate about. That capstone culminates in a final capstone paper, and then at the end of the year, a presentation at our annual honors conference, which we'll tell you a little bit more about in just a few minutes. One really unique opportunity that is only available to honors students at Chapman is that you can satisfy one of your honors course requirements by actually designing your own course. So this is a really unique opportunity. If you're just particularly passionate about a given topic area, you can propose to design and lead a course where you are sort of a key instructor. You would do that in conjunction with a faculty mentor who actually serves as the instructor of record and gets to do all the fun stuff like the grading. But you would lead other honors students through exploring a topic that you're particularly passionate about. And the good news for folks who do that is if you're sort of the student and designer and instructor, that counts towards one of your honors course requirements. And then all of your classmates who are taking that course also fulfill one of their honors course requirements. This is a really great opportunity for students who might want to go um, into an academic career or might want to use or build instructional skills that might be of use to them in a particular profession that they're pursuing. So, speaking about our honors curriculum, I want to introduce you to one of our honors students who plays an important role in our first year forum class, and that is Miss Ava. Ava, you want to tell folks about you?
Definitely. Hi, everyone. I'm Ava. I'm a political science major, and I have two minors in environmental studies and then also the honors program. And so, yes, I'm a teaching assistant for Honors Forum, which is crazy. I'm in my last semester at Chapman, and so I'm really seeing the difference between like teaching freshmen or like newly entered students into the program and then being a senior. And I teach for the Friday section, so that's kind of the civic engagement aspect of it. And then I'm also some involvements on campus. I'm in Pi Sigma Alpha, which is the National Political Science Honor Society. There's some great networking events that they hold with like professors or people from the field. And then I'm also in Gamma Phi Beta since I was a freshman. And then I studied abroad in Sevilla last semester, actually. And this applies definitely to the honors program because they allow you to take a course that counts for credit for the program while you're abroad. So that really like opens the doors to being able to study abroad if it's kind of a crunch with your major requirements. The honors program is very helpful in that way. And then just beyond Chapman, I have a lot of interest in law and policy work. So I interned at an immigration law office over the summer, and I've also done some internships with like environmental organizations like Orange County Coastkeeper, where I did some research. And then I'm also working on a governor's campaign right now. So super fun stuff, just to give you kind of an overview of what Chapman students are involved in, or Chapman honor students. And then here's some photos of some memorable experiences since being at Chapman. On the left, you can see, I don't know if you can tell, that's me there at the table working at a beach cleanup. And then also an article I wrote for the website. And then also in my sophomore year, I was a campus tour guide. Super fun. So that's my certificate. I got to rep the honors program and really sell it to everyone, which was fun. And then there's my study abroad host family in Sevilla. I missed them. And then also with honors, with Jack Horner's Origins class, we went on a whale watching field trip in Newport and we saw a huge pod of dolphins. And so that's just a photo from that. And it was an amazing experience. And then also there's a photo from an energy conference that I attended with one of my professors. So honestly, like all the professors give you great connections into the field. So that's another perk as well.
Thank you, Ava, and thank you so much for introducing this new generation of honors students through the Honors Forum. And so glad to know that you've had such great experiences. As Ava was talking about, one of the other great things when we think about the honors curriculum is the role that study abroad and travel play in our curriculum. So, as Ava pointed out, for those of you who are interested in study abroad, which we know most students are at Chapman, any course that you take abroad in any topic area, you're allowed to count one of those courses towards your honors course requirements. So that can really help, as Ava was pointing out, when you're trying to squeeze in requirements for your major and honors and maybe another minor. And then honors itself also has travel courses. So two of our active travel courses right now take students to Italy, to Rome or Florence, and those travel courses occur during this special semester we have at Chapman, our interterm semester that occurs between the fall and spring semesters. So you can see here some pictures of students who've traveled on some of these honors travel courses. It's just a really amazing opportunity. We work with an institute in Italy who actually provides sort of a really great educational experience, but also is really sort of linked into the cities that we work with and visit. So it can be a really fun experience and also very educational experience for our honor students who go on these trips. And speaking of students who go on these trips, I want to introduce you to another honor student, Madison.
Hi everyone, it's so nice to meet you. My name is Madison Wong, and I'm a senior business administration major with an emphasis in marketing and then minors in leadership studies as well as the honors program. So outside of the classroom, I'm involved on campus with the Chapman Ambassadors program. So we basically serve as the face of the university and represent at events. Then Delta Sigma Pi, which is a co-ed professional business fraternity. And then I'm also a member of Beta Gamma Sigma, International Business Honor Society, as well as Mortarboard. And so being part of the Chapman Ambassadors Program has been one of the most meaningful experiences during my time here. It's allowed me to meet so many people, faculty, staff, donors, and trustees. So we get to go and be a part of a lot of fun campus activities, including being an elf at Winterfest, as you can see here in this picture. I also had a great summer sales internship at ANSYS, which I actually found through the Ardros Career Center. So Chapman has really great career and professional development opportunities and resources which support students in really helping them find meaningful career opportunities. Now I want to highlight some of the experiences that I've had through the honors program. So in my Darwin evolution class, we actually took a class field trip to the San Diego Zoo to feed the Galapagos tortoises. So that was such a great hands-on and immersive experience. And then over this past interterm, I attended a travel course to Florence, Italy, where I worked on a self-designed research project analyzing food marketing tactics in Florence. And then for this project, we actually collaborated closely with university students in Florence who served as our mentors. And then in addition, we also toured a lot of great museums and cultural sites with local experts and guides. So this is just kind of a quick snapshot of the many opportunities that you'll find within the honors program and my Chapman experience as a whole.
Thank you so much, Madison. So great to see you, and I'm so jealous. Someday I'm going to make it on one of these interterm travel courses. Another really great feature of our honors program are our honors conferences. So, as I mentioned earlier, all seniors present their honors capstone projects at our annual honors conference, and that occurs in the first Saturday of May. And all honor students are required to go to the conference. Folks earlier in the program so they can see our seniors present their capstone projects and kind of think about what their own capstone projects might be. And then for our seniors, they also can invite their friends or family to come and see their capstone presentations. And then we follow sort of the presentation portion of our conference with a luncheon and an awards ceremony and the sort of presentation of our graduation stoles. And so those are swag that you wear as part of your regalia at graduation. In addition to our Chapman Honors Conference, there are honors conferences that are part of the larger national honors community. Chapman's honors program is part of the Western Regional Honors Council. And we are also a member of the National Collegiate Honors Council. And both of those organizations have annual honors conferences. Our Western Regional Conference happens each spring, and then the National Conference happens each fall. And so as an honors student, you are able to apply to present a poster or an oral presentation or some other form of presentation at one of these conferences. If your abstract is accepted for presentation, then the Chapman Honors Program pays for your registration, your lodging, and your travel to attend the honors conference. We're often taking groups of students, as you can see here. We just went to the National Honors Conference last week, which happened to be close by in San Diego, but often they're in cities all across the US, so you get to do a little bit of traveling. And so there's just a really great opportunity for honor students to sort of meet other honor students across the nation. And speaking of travel to honors conference, I want to introduce you to our third student presenter today, Ashley, who has participated in these conferences before. Ashley, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, my name is Ashley. I'm currently a junior in environmental science and policy, also having an honors minor. And I've been really heavily involved in research on campus, and the honors program has given me a lot of opportunities to sort of show off that research and also just get more experiences in presenting it and connecting with other honors students doing research. So, some of that research on campus includes my work in the NASA Environmental Health, Equity, and Justice Project, where I look at differences in environmental exposures across Los Angeles County due to race and income and the sort of disparities that come with it. I'm also a student ambassador for the Center of Undergraduate Excellence, so I try to get undergraduate students really involved in research in order to better their academic careers. Kind of on that, I've also been part of the Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship this summer. That's given me a lot of time to dive into this research, and had an opportunity for me to work fully funded by a university on it. And also, just some of my fun involvements include the Mission Environment Club and also the Gamma Phi Beta sorority, which Ava is also in. And some of the more memorable experiences I've had was through my work at the NASA Environmental Equity Grant. I've been able to intern at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab up here in Pasadena for the past 2 summers, and it's given me a lot of opportunities to show off my work. I've had my work, I mainly work in mapping satellite data as it relates to public health, and it's been featured on the Jet Propulsion Lab website and through the Los Angeles Times. But also, Chapman's been able to send me to some really cool places. I've never studied abroad technically, but I've done a lot of research abroad. I spent the past 2 interterms in Costa Rica looking at how our forests are adapting to climate change. But also, on that note of the National Honors Conference, I went to the National Honors Conference in Denver last year and got to present my work where I was investigating differences in heat within Los Angeles County parks. And then this other photo is me presenting at a local conference in Los Angeles that was working on heat mitigation and how our city officials can better tackle heat. But overall, I just really think the honors program has given me a lot of opportunities to further my research and a lot of experience in just communicating it and connecting with others.
Thanks so much, Ashley. One of the other great sort of opportunities the honors students have is to publish in honors publications. And here at Chapman, we have our very own multidisciplinary honors publication, Superiore. And one of the great things about that publication is it's run by honor students who work as our acting editors. And then it highlights the work of honor students on campus. But honor students in the Chapman program are also part of the Western Regional Honors Council and therefore have access to publish in their honors publication, Scribendi. Actually, Scribendi takes submissions from honor students all across the US. So that's an outlet nationally just for our honor students. And then the national sort of council of National Collegiate Honors Council, which is the national organization that Chapman's honors program is a part of, they have their own undergraduate research and creative activity journal called Eureka. Now, the interesting thing about Eureka is open for students who are honor students and also outside of honors programs across the US to submit to. But the journal itself is run by honors students from across the country. So if this is something that you're really interested in, as an honors student, you can apply to be a part of their editorial board and work with other honors editors from across the country in running this undergraduate journal that's open to all undergrads for submission of their work. Some other benefits of honors you're going to hear about from our program specialist, Ashley. So, Ashley, take it away.
Hey guys. Okay, so there's a lot of really cool things of being in honors that's not just like going to class. And I do like to emphasize that because like being in college is an entire experience and it's growth in every aspect of your life. And it's very exciting and a little scary too, and that's okay. One of the things that I love so much about honors is is our community. The students in honors are super supportive of each other. And everyone kind of has their niche and everyone's really excited for them. We also do a lot of just kind of social stuff to have fun with each other. So we have these co-curricular class activities. So we do like fireside chats where a faculty member will host honor students to dinner at their home or local restaurant. And that's really cool because you get to know your faculty better. A lot of honor students are looking to go to grad school, med school, law school. And really knowing your faculty helps in so many ways, networking, letters of rec, all of these things. And so while a fireside chat is like really fun, it's also just beneficial to getting to know your community, getting to know your professors and things like that. One of our professors who I think we've mentioned at least once is a paleontologist. He has a house near Chapman. He's got this amazing telescope. He hosts a bunch of students in his backyard, and we get to look at like stars and planets. So just like super duper fun. And he's also the one that takes people whale watching and to the San Diego Zoo. But we have faculty that do like kind of mini field trips as well to our own Hilbert Museum and local restaurants. Um, we have our mentoring program, which is really cool. It's completely like run by, I mean, I monitor it, but run by students. So if you decide to join us at Chapman and the honors program, you would submit just kind of a quick survey, and we try to pair you with someone that is, ahead of you, not necessarily an upperclassman, but someone that's been at Chapman and in honors for at least a year. And that gives you like a point person. The minute that you get here on campus, you already know someone. And that's a great person to have if you have questions about classes. Like I'm always here to help, but sometimes you want like a student's perspective, and I totally get that. But it's also like to just have like kind of an instant like friend that can kind of guide you around here and just like be someone to chat with. We also we have research and travel grants, which is really exciting. So we have students that will apply for different funding. Um, for a variety of things. So we've had different conferences that they've had original research accepted to, and they need help traveling to those conferences. We had a film student a couple years ago whose short film was accepted to the Cannes Film Festival. That was super cool, and we were really excited to like be able to support her financially. So these are different avenues, things you can look into when you get on campus. A lot of the stuff is on our website, and we're still updating it. So apologies on that. Feel free to reach out anytime you have questions. One of the biggest perks of the program, besides just the amazing community, is priority registration. Again, there are so many honor students are just really high achieving students with a lot of interests. So many honor students double major, double, triple minor. They want to go on to higher ed in the grad program, and priority registration helps that because it allows you to register for class ahead of everyone in your same class. So if you are a first year, then you would register ahead of all first years, et cetera. And that really makes a difference. And I can tell you, my oldest child actually is at Chapman, will be graduating in the spring, which is fabulous. And he didn't have priority registration, and it was incredibly frustrating for him. But I couldn't bribe him to come and hang out with mom more in the honors program. So the priority registration is really cool. It's something that you'll get as long as you're on track with your requirements in the program, which most everybody meets. And then we do like fun stuff like pie on Pie Day. One of our student workers is coordinating like a procrastination party slash, we call it Secret Socrates because we're nerds. And so we're going to have like that the week before finals. We just try to have fun too. Funny enough, we have an alum that fosters kittens and puppies, and he brings them by sometimes. You'll see a picture of one of our current students, who's actually also in my FFC, and she's petting a kitten. It's a really random perk, but it's there. Also, things I think that maybe you're not thinking about right now, but are hugely beneficial when you're on campus is our space. Like every college is going to have space crunches, and we're really lucky to have our common space and our study, and we're getting brand new furniture
All
at the
right.
end of the year. Um, and so in our study, you can print for free, which might not sound exciting, but it is when you have to start paying for it yourself. Likewise, we always put out free coffee and tea and like snacks and stuff. Um, and so like, there's really no reason to go hungry, come over and get, I mean, it's all like, you know, it's not the best food, but we try. So just kind of just to add to our community, or basically everything except one classroom is in one building. So that really kind of brings our community together too.
So, now, of course, if you have been intrigued by some of the things we've shared with you today, and you think this sounds like a special community that you'd like to be a part of, you might want to know how you go about applying to be a part of the honors program. So, first and foremost, you do have to apply. All incoming first year and transfer students, as well as continuing students, are eligible to apply. For our incoming students, which is most of the folks I think that are joining us today, you would apply through the admissions portal. So once you know that you're accepted to Chapman, you will have an opportunity to locate the honors application in your admissions portal and apply there. And incoming students are asked who want to apply to the honors program. You fill out a brief application. It includes basic demographic information, a little bit more about your activities and interests and achievements, and then a brief essay. Of course, continuing students, if anyone's joining us who's currently at Chapman, we also sort of admit them, or in case you decide not to apply as an admitted student but are interested in trying to apply to the program later, we do admit a small number of continuing students across the year as space permits. But if you're interested in the honors program, we highly encourage you to apply as part of the admissions process, because that way we can see if we have space available and think about that. Now, how do we select honors students? It's such a great question. We really do use a holistic approach. Of course, we're interested on information on your academic history, your achievements, your activities and interests, and what you might share in an essay. But at sort of the culmination of all of that is we're really looking for whether folks are a good fit for a program that's really focused on bringing together a diverse community of intellectually curious and engaged students who are really going to thrive in these small seminar-based, discussion-based classes, because that's really where the magic of honors can happen, is when you've got folks who are a dancer and a chemist, a environmental scientist, a political scientist, someone in business, who can come together and really explore an interesting topic from all these different perspectives, and really have those rich conversations in the classroom with sort of your faculty guide. So when do you apply? Well, once you're admitted to Chapman, the honors application will be made available shortly thereafter. And then we sort of do a rolling review of applications as they come in. But if being an honors is important to you, maybe it's important to whether you decide to come to Chapman or go someplace else, and you want to know so that you can make a decision by that May 1st deadline, for sort of putting your decision and deposit down for whatever place you choose to attend in the fall. We really should get your applications by March 31st, just to give time for that review process to happen. And so now we're going to open up the floor for your questions for us. Anyone who's shared anything is willing to share more or answer your questions. Or if you just want to come on camera or on audio and introduce yourselves, and we'd be happy to meet you that way too.
And I believe that Ashley, that we've been responding to some of the questions in the chat, but if we've missed anyone, please just repost it. I'd be happy
That's
to
fabulous. And
yeah.
if there's any questions, Ashley and Ashley, that you responded to in the chat that you think we should maybe just uh, bring to the larger audience, let us know if there was something that was raised there so that we can also answer it.
I think a lot of the questions that I see are from students in different backgrounds, especially it looks to be like performing arts, that are wondering if they can do honors, and absolutely 100%. We have a lot of theater majors in different capacities, because there's theater like acting, and then there's different types of theater majors. Also, we have a lot of dance students in our program. And so like we literally take just about, I mean, I said all majors, but there's one that's the pharmacy one. It's a little shorter. It's kind of impossible to do. But otherwise, we take all majors and we have, I think, pretty much every major represented. And I'm always happy to put students, prospective students, in touch with any current honor students that are in a program they're interested in. We've actually had a lot of questions from incoming students about theater specifically. So, excuse me, if you would like to be in contact with any of our current students about that, just email me. I'd be happy to help you with that. I'm going to cruise through some other stuff.
Grace, you had your hand raised. We'd love it if you want to come on audio
Hi,
or
my
camera.
name's Grace. I just had a really quick question. I am really interested in the honors program, but I'm coming in as a flat freshman. However, I'm gonna be IGETC certified when I do come to whatever college I'm gonna go to. I'm wondering if there would be a lot of repeat classes that I would have to do with the honors program, and just in general, would honors be recommended for someone like me?
I don't know that there'd be any overlap. All of our honors courses are sort of unique to our program. So it it's difficult to imagine many of them being replicated elsewhere. So I don't think that would be an issue. Ashley, I don't know if you've encountered this in the past.
Yeah, none of our classes can be substituted with other classes from either high school, excuse me, or like a community college. I know we get a lot of questions about like a lot of honor students are coming in with GE credits already from AP classes, and that's great. But you still have to take the essentially the 8 courses over the 4 years unless you're a transfer student with over 60 units. But our classes are super cool and really unique and enjoyable, and it's not going to be like too much of a slog for you.
Okay, wonderful. That answers my question. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, Grace. Folks who are monitoring the chat, do we see anything else we might share?
I saw some other students talking about sports. And we do have athletes in our program. It can be a little tricky, I won't lie to you, like just with when it's sports season. But to be honest with you, it'll be tricky in general because, for example, I knew there was a student that wanted to join my FFC, but he was playing soccer and he was going to miss a lot of classes at the time my class was being offered. So there's things that'll like come up like that where you're going to have to, like just prioritize different things. And so being an athlete at college is amazing. And my son was a lacrosse player for a couple years. And I genuinely love working with sports kids. It's just a little trickier, but it's absolutely doable. We have people I can think of off the top, a few lacrosse players, a couple of football players, softball. So like it's totally doable. And I've seen a couple of questions about sports too. So I just wanted to address that.
Right, yeah. And I think someone had asked about early admit decision. I think Ashley mentioned those usually go out from the university
Yeah.
sort of mid-December or in December, we'll just say. I don't want to speak for the admissions team. But then you still have time, even, up through sort of the priority deadline through March, end of March to apply. So it doesn't mean if you're an early admit that you have to apply earlier. Of course, since we do sort of review them in a rolling fashion, the earlier that you submit, the means you're just in the early review groups. So it's a great question.
Yeah, I tried to look at the website and some other information that I have about an actual date. I don't have one, but I remember my son did it. And I think that he had a decision by the 20th of December, but this was also in 2021. And so that things have changed. So I can't like guarantee it. Like Dr. G said, like we're not 100% sure. So you can contact admissions and they can help you.
Other questions? Um, I will say, as you can see, both Madison and Ava, they have other minors. All of our students talking here today and all the other honor students in the program are engaged in a lot of activities. So those of you who are thinking of juggling sports or performance-based majors or any other sort of majors, or you want to do another minor, it is feasible. Of course, the more you try to squeeze in a short amount of time, it just means you need to be more proactive and sort of thinking about a plan that sort of maximizes that. One of the benefits that I just briefly mentioned about honors is we have sort of the unique feature of some of our honors courses cross counting towards other GEs where that wouldn't be the case for a typical minor. Um, well, you can count a little bit for minor two courses, but pretty much there's less of a limit. So it just really helps our students who are trying to squeeze in another minor or have a very credit-based heavy major to be able to pursue the honors program and still fulfill all those other requirements.
Another question we had from the chat was what kind of funding opportunities are available through Chapman Honors Program? And I can speak a little bit about this. Currently, the Chapman Honors Program helped provide me with above $500 to help me go to a conference in New Orleans at the end of this semester. And they partner with the Center for Undergraduate Excellence to really help fund any travel opportunities for research that you might need. So they not only make it possible within the honors program to travel to other places through their courses, they also want you to help support you through your outside research activities and other activities you do as well.
Yeah, so that's a great way, as Ashley's pointing out. The key sources of funding for research and creative activity at Chapman are our Center for Undergraduate Excellence, which oversees research and creative activity opportunities, including travel funding, the Student Government Association, and then there are other entities like Honors that together kind of come together to each support some proportion of students' travel and conference needs. And so that way we don't want any student to if they are accepted to present their research or creative activity or perform in some way their creative sort of products to not have the opportunity to do that. So but honors is just an additional source of funding, so that can really make the difference in terms of how much is funded. We do also we've been starting to collaborate with some of our institutes and centers. So for example, there's a new joint honors travel scholarship that pays for a portion of a travel course that we're doing with the Ferrucci Institute. And so we're constantly also trying to identify opportunities to make all the great work that our students do possible and to sort of get them out there in the world. So great questions. Someone asked about funding for tuition and fees. So the honors program isn't involved in that aspect. So we don't have honors scholarships that are directed towards tuition reimbursement. Obviously, many of our students in the honors program have Chapman merit-based scholarships, which can be quite generous. And so in that way, we kind of partner with that form of funding, but it's not coming directly from honors. It's a great question, though. Any other questions that folks want to come on camera or on audio and ask, or that we might want to highlight in the chat? Madison, Ava, Ashley, anything else you think our attendees might want to know about that you didn't get a chance to share or came to mind as we were talking? Not to put you guys on the spot. Sorry about that.
Honestly, I'm a STEM student, so one of the things I love most about honors is it kind of gives me a place to sort of flex my creative side and especially my communication side. I think a lot of people, when they think of college, they think of like sitting in a big lecture hall, just kind of like silently staring at a professor ahead. But essentially, honors being so small and being discussion based gives you an opportunity to learn how to communicate your ideas, how to actively listen to others, and really get involved early on in sort of the exploration of your field. You're not just passively learning, you're sort of contributing ideas and taking ideas from others and actually using them. um, in a more creative sense. And I think that can be really helpful for STEM students, but also for more creative majors. It gives you an opportunity to, really learn how to express those ideas and those kind of methodologies. So I think that's probably what I love most about honors.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Ashley.
just to add on to that, coming into Chapman, I didn't really know what to expect, and then I joined the honors program right away. And I think it really pushed me to be able to like speak in front of people, for example, like participate in class, because it's really just a discussion. And you really learn those skills, which has been really helpful in other areas too, like jobs I've taken on or internships or whatever it might be, or just in life. So that's something that's been a really big perk for me, and I know a lot of other students as well. And just like re-emphasizing the community aspect of it, it's such a tight-knit community. You have classes with like people multiple times, and so you get to know them. And I love that about honors, and you really are just like having those face-to-face interactions and such unique course topics as well. I remember the first course I took in the honors program was Monsters and Monstrosities. And you basically read like Gothic literature like Frankenstein, Dracula, and you analyze it based on the time period it was written in and like what that says about that period in history. So that was super interesting. And like coming into the honors program and taking that as my first class really like opened the doors for me and made me realize like, oh my gosh, I really enjoy being a part of this community and it's only been great ever since and I'm gonna miss it so much. But yeah, that's what I gotta say about the program. I'll always hype it up.
Yeah, going off both Ashley and Ava, I think reflecting back on my time in the honors program, I just think of all the amazing opportunities and experiences I've had. I think first, it gives you just a great community of fellow friends and scholars, and it's given me the opportunity to meet so many other students from various majors and minors that I wouldn't come across in my business classes. And it's also given me the opportunity to take classes across many disciplines. So, for example, I've taken dinosaur class with Professor Jack Horner. I'd recommend that class to any of you prospective students out there in the audience. I've taken his origins class as well. I've taken a psychology class. And then one of my favorite classes has also been writing food culture with Professor Jenner. I took that class sophomore year, and that has actually influenced the topic for my senior capstone that I'm writing now for the honors program. So it really just gives you a great understanding of various topics that you wouldn't come across in your major.
Yeah, it's so interesting where Madison is in one of our capstone courses that I'm an instructor for this semester, and just seeing the diversity of topics that our honor students from all these different disciplines are doing. And students have been presenting their capstone projects these last couple weeks. And I don't know, Madison, it's just been a great opportunity to see these amazing projects and ideas that folks have in areas that, most of the rest of us don't know that much about, and to then also get to work as collaborators and helping them to refine those projects and enhance them, I think is just a unique privilege to have, and sort of as part of your undergraduate studies. It definitely is as an instructor. So um, I think that's a really cool aspect of the honors program. Someone had asked about alumni. We do have active alumni, including the ones that bring their foster pets to the honors commons almost weekly, and folks who are really engaged. But we are in the process of developing a more formal honors alumni network. So we're very excited about that new development. Uh, if you come here and you're part of the honors program, stay tuned for more on that. Ashley, do we have any other questions that have come up?
So I was actually just typing this, but I'll respond. Someone said, excuse me, are honor students more likely to receive recurring merit-based financial aid? While this isn't our expertise, I was going to say, I would say yes, simply because our students are just so amazing. I mean, they're like top notch. Like, I mean, you can look, we heard from the three students and they're just involved with everything and they are, just powerhouses. And so like I know that Dr. G and I would like take full credit for them getting all the merit aid, but like they come in just being amazing students anyway. So that said, I don't like have hard data, and part of that is it's hard to track. The merit aid a lot comes from like the provost office and other like programs on campus. And then when it comes to actual financial aid, we don't have access to that because it's super private, which I'm sure you guys appreciate. But I would say that it is like so common for honor students to have merit aid all throughout their 4 years. And then I see another one that says, does honors help with applying to postgrad programs? Yeah, we actually like work with program departments on campus, like Career Professional Development Center, which I think was brought up earlier. And they help there. We have other like contacts on campus. Like I just recently, a student of ours wants to do law, and I put her in touch with one of our law professors. And so sometimes it's just a networking thing. Sometimes it's more with actual like departments on campus. And then Dr. G and I write a ton of letters of rec, which we're happy to do with advanced notice. So we help as much as we can, and if we can't do it, we partner with someone on campus.
Yeah, and probably the most important part of that is just that you're getting to know faculty in honors courses and faculty on the honors program. So beyond letters of rec, I don't know that students always love this, but I'm constantly asking them what their plans are, what they want to do. And I think there's that active process of that dialogue around thinking about students' plans, hopes, aspirations, dreams, trajectories, and then trying to make sure that they're making forward progress on those goals. And so I think that, just because you're so enmeshed within this community, there's a sort of support that comes that you might not think about as part of those day-to-day interactions. So that can be priceless, I can say, and helping to make sure that people move along towards their hopes and dreams. It's a great
We actually
question.
got a little bit of a shout out inadvertently for a roundabout for one of our alums, Tiffany Ho, who's finishing her doctorate right now and has highly recommended our program. And so in the chat, we got she kind of got the shout out, but just we'll take credit for it. I love Tiffany. She sometimes surprises me. She'll come by out of the blue to catch up and keep me posted on all of her academic endeavors, everything. And I just love staying in touch with all of our alum. And she's absolutely like probably like the oldest alum that I stay in touch with. Well, don't tell her I said oldest, but and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see these students doing so well later on. Although I sometimes I think of them still as perpetually 22 years old.
Great. Any
I
other
have a question.
questions that anyone in
Yeah,
the
I have a
audience
question
wants to
about
ask?
the curriculum.
Sure.
So just to clarify, when you have these requirements or in these classes, are you taking them on top of the credits that are required to graduate, or are they within the same number of
They're
credits?
within. And so all students on campus have general education requirements. One sort of category of that is what they call an exploration focus, which could be a minor, or what we call a themed inquiry, which is not quite as many courses as a minor, but a cluster of courses in a particular area. So honors fulfills that requirement of your general ed or GE requirements. And then we sort of have generous cross counting. So you have other general education requirements, but an honors course will count towards honors and towards those. And so even though it might seem like a lot, 24 units is sort of the minimum for any minor on campus, which is what the honors curriculum requires, or 24 units or 8 classes. But honors is kind of even more flexible in the sense that it has more generous cross counting. So you can kind of, as we like to say, double dip a little bit more than you normally would. But it is fulfilling a set of requirements that all students would have to complete anyway. You're just completing them within the honors program. So great question.
Okay, and then do most majors have a capstone type of project?
This is such a great question because we've been looking at whether we want to innovate some of the capstone sort of processes and honors. So we just sort of did a deep dive, and I would say it's about half of majors on campus have what I might consider sort of a comprehensive capstone, which is a year-long project or a pretty in-depth semester project. And so we're really, as Madison can attest to, we try to work with students. They can't necessarily do the exact same project, but in areas or disciplines where programs of research are important and help you in terms of being competitive for graduate school, for example, we try to encourage students to sort of add to their program of research or creative activity, or for our students in creative disciplines where they might have to have a portfolio upon graduation for advanced study. We try to think of ways in which the honors capstone can complement and add to the body of work that would help them land that job, get into grad school, or whatever it is else that is they want to pursue. So we don't want to create additional burden that isn't of benefit to our students. The capstone should be something that they love, but also something that helps them achieve some of their other goals.
Okay, thanks. I was wondering if it would get overwhelming to have to do two capstones at once.
Yeah, some students just choose to do very different things, even though I encourage them not to. But sometimes they just, as Ashley was saying earlier, sometimes she uses honors as an outlet to explore things that maybe she wouldn't be able to explore in her environmental science major, which is very STEM focused. And so she might want to explore something in an honors class or project that she wouldn't be able to. So we want to help students pursue whatever those passions are, but also kind of help them think about as you're pointing out the burden that can come from trying to do too many things. So great question. All right. Any other questions?
How competitive is it to get in? Do you have a lot of applicants?
That's a great question. I am new to the program, so I do not have those stats. Ashley, I don't know if you can speak to that or not.
Yeah, I know I hate to like punt the ball again, but admissions is like probably the one thing that I've not been involved in too much while I've been in honors, and that's because I'm a sucker for these kids. So I would just say yes to everyone. So I know that at one point we were getting around 300 applications for about 80 spots. It's been a little bit, it's starting to mellow out now post pandemic, but the data for the last 5 years is just like kind of all over the place. I can quickly look and see if I can see, but I think that must have been probably around that in this past spring. I want to say like 280. But again, I don't have the number in front of me, but if you want me to like dig that up for you, I can look it up. You could just shoot me an email and I will be happy to find that for you.
And part of the spots are just limited by our sort of first year courses and our capstone courses, just how many students we can kind of accommodate in that coursework at any given time. So, because we would love to take everyone who's interested.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do the honors programs provide anything like I'm very interested in studying abroad. Do they provide like exclusive study abroad programs that are exclusive to the honors program?
So we don't have exclusive study abroad programs in honors at the moment. We do have our honors travel courses, which are travel courses that are taught sort of under the honors program. So they have an honors course name. They're run by honors faculty, and a lot of honors students attend or participate in those courses, although they're open to other students. But then there are a lot of other travel courses at Chapman that honor students also participate in, because we'll count at least one any course taken abroad through one of these programs. And so there are other courses as well, but we don't have a specific honors study abroad program? That's a great question. I don't know
Okay.
if they do more broadly. I don't know if, at other institutions that host study abroad programs, if they have targeted programs for honors students, since you're also part of a larger honors community nationally. As you can see through the different conferences and publications and things, it's a community beyond Chapman. But so there might be opportunities that I'm just not aware of, but the Center for Global Education would be a good source to check on that to see what's open.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Right.
I saw a question about GPA, and since we've had specific questions about admission stuff, I'm trying to dig up some information. But I don't have like just like one file, but I'm looking at GPAs tend to be just under 4.0 depending. Some schools don't weight GPAs. And then we've had I saw one at 4.3. Again, this is like anecdotal. I'd have to like dig it up, but I'm trying to find it quickly while we're on here. So I just want to let you know.
Yeah, and I will say there hasn't been I'm new to the admissions process, but there hasn't been, for example, a specific GPA cut. Um, it's just, of course, that's part of one of many factors. But often when we think about GPA and other academic indicators, what we're really trying to discern there is, are you going to thrive in an environment that requires a great degree of initiative and independent activity to be engaged in discussions, to engage with reading materials outside of class, to inform those discussions, to engage in assignments that sort of help you develop. And so that is often what we're looking for when we're trying to look at folks' academic profiles. And because the worst thing is to think you belong in honors because it looks good. But then it's not a learning environment in which you would thrive in, because it is a sort of unique learning environment in terms of being a much more engaged participant. Some folks prefer to maybe be less engaged, even if they might perform really well in their coursework and are able to absorb material in lecture-based courses. But it is a certain learning style that I think is just really important to ask yourself before you apply would I thrive in sort of that environment. I don't know if our students have any thoughts, but sometimes it can be a lot of pressure if that's not an environment that you're comfortable with in terms of, since the courses are small, um, it's going to be noticeable if you don't want to participate in class.
Actually to that, and I'm sorry to interrupt other Ashley, but I've actually had prospective students ask me like about how we teach, and then they're like, oh, Socratic's really just not up my alley. And I'm like, great, now you know, like it's good to know, like, and it's good to be true to yourself. So I just wanted to throw that in. Well, I had
Yeah, it was really similar to that. Someone in the chat earlier had asked, how would I know if I would be a good fit for honors? And I had responded, I feel like one of the most important things is that you're just someone that's passionate about the process of learning. Most of the classes are discussion based, and you have to, engage with material outside of class. So that way, when you come into class, you can actually have those more valuable discussions because you actually know. But it does require a certain amount of independence. But I would say it's really good for students who love the process of learning, love hearing from other people's perspectives, and like that sort of more independent work too. Um, yeah.
Going back to the GPA thing, I couldn't find an actual report, but the majority of GPAs are looking to be about between 4.0 and 4.26. Again, like if you want like hard data, I'd be happy to get that to you if you email me. I will work with admissions to get that for you guys.
But important point, if you have something below that perfect GPA, doesn't mean don't apply. Great question. Other thoughts, questions? Okay, well, many thanks to our presenters and for all of our attendees joining us from all over. We're really excited that you're interested in learning more about the honors program. And as you can see here, if any questions arise, feel free to drop us an email at honors@chapman, and Ashley or I will get back to you and answer your questions as best as we can. And we really look forward to hoping to see you on campus next fall, um, or sooner or later, and to your application to the honors program. So thanks so much.